What's good, everybody? Welcome into Coach and Company, your daily sports and sports betting brand of record. We are here on Stadium every single weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you miss any of the show, you can catch us on demand at our BTT YouTube page. And while you're there, check out all the rest of our content. I am your boy, the Coach. And as you can see, we are no longer in the friendly confines this week. On the road doing the WM Phoenix Open. If you didn't catch us yesterday, brand new ESPN Bet show from 2 to 4 Eastern Time. Check us out on ESPN Plus. But as always, before we look forward, we must look back. And yesterday, not a bad day at the brand. Your boy went 2-1. I do that little bit of a flyer against Scotty Scheffler. Scheffler didn't have a great day, but it was enough to win. All right, that day's behind us. We now need to focus on today. And in addition to being the last day before the Super Bowl, we're not going to have a show on Sunday. You've got a life. My guys have a life as well, but we're damn sure going to watch it. But there's a lot of other content. There's a lot of other sports that are going on. So I want to bring in the guys right now. We have no time to waste. And today we are going 5 wide. Look at this. What an embarrassment of riches. Soupy is here. Big Chuck is here. My man, Big Tommy C is here. But Rafael, I got to start with you because overnight, this all materialized in real time. So last night, it came down to Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul, of all people, finalizing a fight. It would have been mega, mega, mega money. But in a turn of events, Turkey Ali Sheikh, the man from Saudi Arabia behind Riyadh season, said, oh no, Canelo does not fight an influencer. Ouch, Jake Paul. He's now going to fight Terrence Crawford, a brand new 4-fight deal. You were making odds for the first fight. How did this happen? And what did it do to the odds?
Yeah, my evening was very interesting when it was Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Oh, let's throw in some Canelo stuff because it just blew up that I can't believe he was going to fight May 3rd at the Sphere. I was hearing that he was going to fight Jake Paul and made him Canelo 2,800 favorite. Jake Paul was plus 1,200. Sent you the odds. You're like, is this really happening? I'm like, the deal's almost closed, almost done. And then I guess someone called Canelo maybe up in Saudi and say, hey, you know what? I'll give you an extra 20 million if you sign this 4-fight deal. And now he's supposed to fight May 3rd in Saudi Arabia. That'll be Canelo's first fight out of the United States and Mexico. While we're fighting Saudi Arabia, no opponent has been met. And then it leads up to a September fight in Vegas at the T-Mobile against Terrence Crawford, which now Canelo is a minus 210 over Terrence Crawford if they fight in September.
Big if, but the deal is done. And Soupy, let me come over to you because you're a big combat sports guy. And a lot of people don't like the fact that Turkey Ali Sheikh just throws money at everything and they bring all the fights to Saudi Arabia. But I look at it as at least there's a guy that wants to put the best fights, the biggest fights, and the fact that, oh, this fighter's with that promoter, can't fight this guy over here with that promoter. I like this because finally we're going to see a fight that probably we should have seen 2 or 3 years ago with Canelo and Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, this is the fight that we've been wanting to see for a while, and we're finally getting. It just kind of shows in this sport of boxing that money talks. But I do feel bad for Jake Paul because it finally would have been the first opponent, legitimate opponent, that didn't need an AARP card. But I don't know what's going to happen. I think we do need to have Jake Paul finally fight a legitimate fighter. I thought it was going to happen here. I was actually excited for this fight, but now we got to wait for another one.
Think about this, Charles. If you are Jake Paul, that was going to be, I mean, he made 40 million fighting Mike Tyson. Can you imagine what the payday would have been from Netflix if he would have fought Canelo Alvarez, the biggest name in legitimate boxing? Now, he might have got knocked out in the first round, but the paycheck would have been in the bank. If I'm Jake Paul, I am pissed this morning.
He could be pissed or thinking his lucky stars, and I wonder if they used that as leverage to get this deal done. Also, could have used the Jake Paul as leverage. For him, I think he'll find another payday. That would have been a nice fight. He, like I said, but I think he might be actually thinking himself he got out of that one.
It's interesting that you say using that leverage from Canelo. Tommy, you've been a part of the WWE for over 32 years. This is all about promotion, and you got to be able to sell. And now pay-per-views are different than they used to be. But this one, I'm assuming, will be either a pay-per-view or they're going to demand a big-time check from Netflix or Amazon Prime, something like that.
Well, it should be a pay-per-view, right? Because you got two of the best boxers out there today. Between I love Canelo. I think Crawford's a beast, and the Sheik is not stupid. They're going to make it a pay-per-view. They're going to make big money on it. I don't think Netflix has enough money. Well, they do have enough money, but I don't think they're going to put that much money out to secure that fight. And the pay-per-view, the money will go right out the window because I'd be one of the first ones to watch. I'm a huge Canelo fan. I like Crawford also, and nothing like a great boxing match to watch, and that will be a great boxing match.
And finally, maybe these fighters, guys, will realize it doesn't matter if you have a 0 next to your name or a 1 or a 2. It's about getting the biggest bag possible and giving us the biggest fights possible. That's what we used to have back in the 70s and the 80s, and the Haglers and the Hearns and the Sugar Ray Leonards. They didn't care about the 0. They cared about the zeros in their paycheck. So we'll keep an eye on this, of course, because this will have big time betting ramifications as we head towards May and then ultimately in September. All right, gentlemen, that is one of the big stories today. But we still have basketball. We still have soccer. We still have a lot of different sports before we get to the Super Bowl. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to talk Super Bowl, and we're going to get into some different bets that you can make that are serious. Then in about 30 minutes, we're talking the fun bets. I mean, Big Tommy C's been texting me all week about, Coach, the Gatorade collar, the Gatorade. Well, we're going to do that coming up in about 30 minutes. And then in about 45 minutes, we're going to do a very special Super Bowl edition of One Word. Today's all about the Chiefs and the Eagles. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to beat the books. All right, guys, here we go. Now, we've got a lot of different picks today, and we always do several different soccer plays. So, Big Chuck, I want to start with you, and I want to kind of divide yours into two different sections. We got Bundesliga, we've got a game today, and a full slate tomorrow. Where are you headed?
Bundesliga doubler, since we have no EPL this weekend, we're going to go to the Bayern and the Werder Bremen match. I'm going to go with the first half over 1.75 full time, or first half goals, or the 1.5, depending on your juice tolerance. Bayern matches in the first half have produced 2 or more first half goals in 4 straight and 5 of their last 7. Moving to Saturday, Gladbach in Frankfurt, they come to town. I like Gladbach in this match. The Foles, they should come out hungry to start early, and they've actually scored a first half goal in 5 of their last 7. Give me the Gladbach first half team total over half a goal.
Tommy, serious question. What is your juice tolerance today? I mean, I don't know if it's orange, apple.
I'm not going to tell you yet until you ask me that question about.
All right, we'll get back to Charles in a second. He has 3 more plays from the weekend. Big Tommy, let me come over to you because I got to be honest with you. I'm so super proud of you because you're really starting to get into this and look at things from a handicapper's perspective. Part of the reason you're on the show is you always bring us the fan perspective. But last night, you looked at the Rockets game. You looked at the Rockets over. You had legitimate reasons why. So I can't wait to see what you're bringing to the table today. What do you got?
All right, I'm betting on the Super Bowl here, Coach. I'm taking your Chiefs in the money line minus 120. I actually think it's going to be a really close game, but I think your Chiefs are going to pull it out only because I think they have the better coach and Reed preparing for a game for 2 weeks, and Spagnola is just going to put them over there. My second one is I'm taking the 2 beasts on defense, Chris Jones and Jalen Carter. Chris Jones sacks 1 plus minus 129, and Jalen Carter 1 plus plus 127. These 2 guys need to be stopped in this game in order for them, Jalen Hurts and for Pat Mahomes, to get over in this game. Jones is a beast. Somehow he always finds a way to get in there, and Jalen Carter up the middle. The dude is a stud athlete, and man, I feel sorry for that center going up against him. He's going to come right up the middle every time, and Mahomes better be ready for them. That's what I'm picking this week.
You know why I like these so much, Tommy, is you got 2 quarterbacks here that love to hold the ball absolutely as long as they possibly can because they both run the football.
Yep.
So normally, especially for Mahomes, that leads to at least 1 or 2 sacks a game. So I think this is a really good look by you. Big Soupy, coming up in about 25 minutes, we've got prize picks coming from you. But these are your best bets right now. Where are you headed, sir?
I'm looking at the Thunder. They're going against the Raptors. Thunder have scored 140 points in 2 of the last 3 games, and now they're getting check home run grab. That is just going to be that's going to be great to watch. And the Raptors, well, they just gave up 138 points to the Grizzlies. So I'm taking a bet that they've already hit against the Raptors over 124-point team total. And then I'm taking the Stars, the Kings, the Stars, 68% under percentage, most in the league. The Stars are at 65%, which is the fourth most. And they do it because they both have great defenses. They are top five in shots on goal allowed, rebounds allowed, and unblocked shots allowed. It's going to be a close defensive game, so I'm going to take the under 5.5.
New better or a new NBA better, I want you to take a look at what Soupy did right there. When you got a team like the Thunder where the spreads start to get so high that you can't give 12, 13, 14 points, do what he just did. The Raptors defense is merely a suggestion at this point. So you play the team total plus Soupy. I think that they're really going to start to try to chase history. Their head coach put SGA back in the game up 25 the other night just so he could get to 50 points. He's got 3 50-point games in the last 7, so maybe look at his point total tonight as well. Do you like that look?
Yeah, I do. Just SGA, he is a clear MVP. I think it's minus 700 at some books right now. He's just playing out of his mind. Check Holmgren coming back is going to help him a lot, but I still think SGA is that top scoring option.
God, they're the number one team without Chet. What are they going to do when this dude comes back? He's an absolute legit beast inside, and he can shoot the rock as well. Soupy, thank you very much. All right, Big Chuck coming back to you. We got 3 more plays to get to. What do you got?
Sunday, we had to get a little Serie A. Also, we have some Napoli at Udinese. This is our auto play of the week, the both teams to score. Believe it or not, we're getting plus money, and this is cashed in 6 straight and 9 of their last 10 meetings. And then we wrap it up in France, League One. Angers, Marseille, who love to play on the road. They actually average 2.5 team goals away from home. So give me Marseille first half team total over half a goal, and Marseille team total over 1.5. I think they score at least 2 away from home again.
Who Udinese is playing. I just want them to be bet on so that you can say it on the show every single week. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. All right, Rafael, me and you, we've got about 3 minutes to get our plays in. I'm going to go first. I've got 2 plays from round 2 today at the WN Phoenix Open. You can find these on DraftKings. Make sure it's Mountain Time, so get these in. Sepp Straka minus 130 over Maverick McNeely. Straka had another good start to the tournament yesterday. He's the number 1 player right now in the FedEx Cup rankings. He's already won this year as well in the desert, so he likes playing in the desert. Then Justin Thomas, highly motivated. This one's juicy. Sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze. Minus 160, but it's a gut because Corey Connors has not been playing good golf. And Corey Connors is not going to beat Justin Thomas, who shot a 5 under 66 yesterday. So 2 plays, afternoon wave today at the Phoenix Open. I'll be on the call on ESPN Plus, our bet show 2 to 4 Eastern time. All right, Rafael, the floor from the Super Bowl is yours. What do you got today?
The Justin Thomas play you have minus $2 in some books, so grabbing minus 160 is a pretty nice deal for 40 cents. But we're going to the desert as well for the NBA. Probably the team that probably has the worst locker room right now, the Phoenix Suns, for all the trade rumors and back and forth. We're going to do a Suns team total over 119.5, laying the 3 nickels. Not because the Suns are playing good, not because their offense, because the Utah Jazz defense stinks right now. The last 10 games, they're giving up 122 points a game. If you want to get your locker room back into strays, play the Utah Jazz. You have a great time putting a lot of buckets in a hole. So play Utah. Give me Suns team total over 119.5. And then, of course, I had to do a Super Bowl prop bet. I've been doing them season like forever, and I have to grade the Super Bowl prop bets after the game. So that's just even worse. But I'm going to take both teams to score 1 rushing TD minus 140. Both teams are going to establish the run. Both teams are going to run the ball in the end zone. I think both quarterbacks can probably rush the ball in the end zone. So I like both teams to score 1 rushing touchdown. I'll lay the juice minus 140.
I got to ask you this because we tease you a lot. You're such an important part of what we do here at Coaching Company. But over 2,000 bets, what has this experience been like? About 30 seconds, as opposed to other Super Bowls you've covered and had to make odds for.
Oh, probably about 2,000 extra prop bets this year than I've normally done. So I'm trying to figure out how many times I have to watch the game to finish grading all these props. I usually average 2 to 3 times rewatching the game to add to grade all the prop bets.
Wow, 2 to 3 times. I will ask you one simple question at home, and feel free to do it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to do the work? Hell no. He's our numbers guy for a reason. Rafael, thank you very much. Now, We're just getting started here on Coach and Company. Still to come. As I mentioned, we're diving deeper into the Super Bowl. Where do my guys fall? It's Friday. You have a lot of time to change your mind, but now we're getting down to 48 hours. Also, there's some fun bets out there that you can talk about, whether it's the national anthem, the Gatorade collar, how many times they're going to show the president as opposed to Taylor Swift. We're doing that. And then also a special one-word edition. We're just getting started. It's Coach and Company. Where else but right here on Stadium.